Corvette, the front suspension sits all ahead of the engine. Great for handling. Fine when you have a V8 like it was designed for. Not so great when your V12 comes to here.
Well, here we go, let's get those wheels out on the road. It may get dusty, but that's the way she goes. We'll build some greasy old cars and drink our AGD. Hey, don't you know, it's partly built.
Alright, so, little change of plans. Where I had my Corvette stored, lost the storage place. So kind of need to make room for it, and being as it has no steering, the engine's got to come out, the tranny's got to come out so we can start doing the V12 stuff. We weren't planning on doing anything with it for another year at least, but well, it's on the back of the tow truck right now. It's coming in the shop, so there's no brakes on the Galaxy still, no front brakes. I still haven't made it to wrecker. I've only found one wrecker in Alberta with the piece I need. And I just haven't had a chance to get up there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the Galaxy out. I'm going to haul it home to my garage at home. And we're going to move the Corvette in. And we're going to get the 6-liter out, the transmission out. We're going to get the steering rack installed and figured out. Because right now there's no steering at all. Because I cut everything but the tie rods out of it. Because if anyone's ever driven a C3, like it is like herding cats down the highway. Like it is... You hit a bump, it's almost scary because the thing darts in every direction. And I mean, the only way to fix it is to either replace everything in it with brand new parts that are going to wear out in no time anyway because they were horrible, or just put something better. So we're going to do something better. But anyway, we'll throw it on time lapse. We'll do our best to get that thing in here. See how it goes.
See if we can sneak her in.
Let's get to it. That would have worked. That would be easier than this BS idea that I came up with that I do not have anywhere near the skills to complete.
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what? I think with enough time and beer, we can do it.
This is the first time we've measured this engine bay. And pull that supercharger back out of there, Steven. I mean, if you would have given me the supercharger, I'd have used it.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we've measured the engine bay. Was it 26?
Yeah, sure. I believe it. Can't remember.
The V12 from the bell housing
It's 36.
is 31 inches.
Oh, right, that's what it was. 31 and a half up to that thing.
31 and a quarter to the front of the valve cover. Plus the crank pulley, plus all the accessories. And that's not even the part we're worried about. If you look down in here, you'll see Corvette, the front suspension sits all ahead of the engine. Great for handling. Fine when you have a V8 like it was designed for. Not so great when your V12 comes to here. And it's the same width. Well, it's an inch narrower on each side. I don't think the exhaust is gonna clear my A-arms. What did I get myself into?
Now I got to think of something else. So, say we get the collar cowl, and
Okay, yes. Steven's got ideas here. Explain your ideas.
so I'm thinking to be able to get everything shoved forward, it's got to be, and all that fun jazz to make it fit. If we had a cowl hood, I'm just doing rough measurements when we get into it. We'll do it proper, like 5-6 inch cowl instead of the factory what is this, 1.5 to 2
Yeah,
inches.
even a 4-inch cowl would probably do it.
So we can then shuttle this engine upwards to make it so it clears that and hopefully clears the control arms. But I just thought we ran into another issue with this engine now. Instead of having to sit up, is going to have to also sit ass down because the transmission may not have got bolted up. When
It
it's
already
up to-
sits ass down.
but it's going to have to sit, I think, a little more hardcore ass down because
So,
I don't know if a bell.
My thing that I think we're gonna have to do is I think we're gonna have to either homangulate that crap out of this cross member, or what I really think is gonna happen is I'm gonna either have to buy a bolt-in one, or we're gonna have to build a tubular cross member here. Because this is, yeah, that's at that point. The hood slopes hard from there. Because this is, yeah, well, the biggest hurdle is the oil pan should fit. We're going to be okay with height. The length is going to suck because trying to fit a radiator, but if we got to run a custom radiator or figure something out with that, that's not the end of the world. The biggest thing right now is this upper suspension with the exhaust is going to be a mother.
I got to thinking of something as well.
What?
That engine's taller.
Yeah?
Those exhaust ports sit taller. Are they going to sit above that control arm?
How much taller is that engine?
I gotta measure that. You remember what the height of this thing was?
I'll just look it up. I got the spec saved on my phone.
So this is not including oil pan. Up at the top, the valve cover is about 19.
Well, I did have it saved. I might not anymore.
The top of your valve cover, you are 17. So it's 2 inches taller-ish, because I'm just using eyeball measurements. 17, and that was 7, so 10 up is where your exhaust manifolds roughly sit into the head. This
Speak up so you can hear on the camera.
is about a foot. You got these exhaust manifolds roughly, and all imaginary speaking, sit about 2 inches higher.
So that's the other thing. I was just thinking if we build, even if they're at the same height,
Because that's the thing.
we might be able to build a tubular manifold or a log manifold and be above.
I think we're good.
Because we're
on
not
this
going to get
side-
out of this with bolt on. Like this is an under. I didn't realize how stupid I was when I said, "Hey, let's put a V12 in my Corvette."
But look at this though. I don't know about your side. My side, the exhaust manifolds are just above that control arm.
Yeah, they're just above on this side too.
So we got an extra 2 inches we can deal with. And the valve cover from rough center of these ports to the top here is 7. Rough center of those to the top is 6. So we're an inch shorter. So with this engine being up, that 2 inches roughly higher, it's only an inch higher than where this sits, roughly speaking. So theoretically it should all fit. I mean, it'll be a lot of dinking around, and that cross member is probably going to dick us a bit, but I don't
I
think
might
it'll be
look
too bad.
into a tubular bolt-in K-member.
Yeah, see what they want for those things.
Oh, probably twice what I can afford, but
But hey, you know what we always could do? We could always notch this and then upgrade to a tubular one later. That's always an option. So we
the
can
other
think
thing we
about it.
could do is become really famous and get sponsorship, because that would save me a lot of freaking.
Yeah, sponsorship would help with paying bills and this stuff.
Oh man. Yeah. So here's the thing, guys. We're gonna leave it up to you, and we'll put a vote in. I'll have to figure out how to do it.
Probably once we have a bit more subscribers.
We're up to 52.
Oh.
Here's the thing. We can either get going on the drag car and put this thing under a cover and shove it in the back and say, screw it, we'll get to it when we get to it, like the plan was. Or now that it's in the shop, we can put the drag car off. It's not going anywhere. And we can finish Steven's truck. And then we can get going on the V12 swap.
That's got my vote. Because you know what? The drag cars are cool, but I want to see a V12 in this thing. I want to see a single one.
You gotta find me a tranny, and I gotta save up $1,000 for a bell housing, clutch, and well, $1,500 by the time you buy the clutch too. I need $1,500 for the frickin' engine control system. Oh.
But no, at least my big thing.
I'm gonna be 10 grand into the swap, and I have $500 to my name.
Big thing I want is I just want the engine in here and to a place where we know visually we can see the bell housing will clear. That's my big goal, is to get the engine in here. And then we can piss around with that stuff when we come to it.
Problem is we don't even have a bell housing to test fit.
Well,
a bell housing.
I'm talking, you just eyeball it. Like, make sure you can see all the bolts and good enough. Like, if you can see all the bolts, the bell doesn't fit.
Problem is you can't even get the engine to sit in there properly because the mounts are way at the front of the engine without a transmission in there.
Oh, we got a friggin' jack and straps and crap. We can make her fit.
Yeah, that's true.
We can do her.
But, I mean, we gotta find somewhere to put this hood that it's not gonna get wrecked.
Yeah, I'll probably throw it in the paint bay in the kitchen.
But yeah, guys, anyway, it's up to you. Because at this point I can't really afford to do either one, but we're gonna do it. So yeah, I guess drag car or hermangulated V12 maybe Corvette. We're gonna finish Steven's step side first. Probably won't do anything to this until that thing's running and driving. So I mean that's easily another month, maybe 2.
Yeah.
But that'll give me some time to do a little more research. In the meantime, if we have time, we might get this engine pulled because I think I've got it sold. I'll throw that transmission in the garbage because it's a piece of frickin' garbage. That's putting it nicely. We gotta get, this thing has no steering. There's no steering rack in it at all. Like all the steering system I pulled out because it was like herding cats taking this thing down the road. Like I've driven tractors and all kinds of crap with flat tires that is more responsive steering than this thing. You'd hit a pothole and you'd beg for sweet Jesus to save you. But anyway, yeah. So we got that. I guess that's where we're at with this. So you make the call and we'll do what we can to make it happen. Thanks for watching. All our fantastic subscribers, thank you. All future subscribers, thank you too.
Have a nice day.
We'll catch you next time. Thanks, guys.